And it begins with 3 words: Dear Lord Rothschild.
It should be established in Israel. So it was something that divided my family, as with many other families.
After decades of silence, Jacob Rothschild proclaims, "It's time the world knows." At that point, a long-hidden figure emerges into the open, revealing facts that have the potential to shake the foundations of world dominance. This shocking discovery concerns not just one individual, but the dynasty he represents, a family whose name has long been associated with riches, power, and intrigue. Tonight, we explore Rothschild's new admissions and the legacy that has left the world both incredulous and suspicious as we peel back the layers of this hidden empire. The Rothschilds have created stories that are both feared and celebrated, from the halls of banking power to rumors of their influence on history.
Deeply eccentric man, but from a very early age his passion was collecting.
What secrets are there in this family? What is the extent of their influence? Prepare to face the invisible forces that might have influenced the world as we know it, as we delve into their contentious past and the shocking revelations that are now coming to light. This tale of privilege, power, and disclosures has the potential to upend our conception of history and the forces that shape it. The Rothschild mystique. The name Rothschild has been associated with unmatched wealth, influence, and intrigue for generations. The family's banking empire, which began in Frankfurt in the 18th century and spread across continents, helped to shape the modern financial world. But great power also comes with constant scrutiny. Conspiracy theories have traditionally centered on the Rothschilds, who are frequently portrayed as enigmatic puppet masters in charge of world politics and economics. Although such tales pique people's interest, the reality is much more complex and possibly much more disturbing. The story of ambition, power, and secrecy that lies beneath the myths has influenced modern history in both obvious and hidden ways. Tonight, we explore the legacy of one of the most influential families in history, separating reality from fantasy. Get ready to discover a tale of intrigue, impact, and discoveries that go against everything we believe to be true.
She was converted to Zionism by my Hungarian grandmother, Rezika, and he fell under my spell.
The main player of one of the most memorable stories in history is Jacob Rothschild, the 4th Baron Rothschild. He has always been a divisive character, renowned for his keen intelligence, strategic vision, and unwavering influence. Jacob is seen by some as the pinnacle of legacy and financial savvy. To others, he represents the sinister power that the Rothschild name is frequently associated with. Jacob just broke his silence in a rare and remarkable interview, providing an unparalleled look into his family's hidden world. His disclosures addressed the intricacies of their enormous power, their centuries-old legacy, and their influence on world finance. Others viewed his honesty as a premeditated attempt to rewrite the family's story, while others regarded it as a daring attempt to debunk misconceptions.
The first thing I'd like to do is to thank Bloomberg Green.
What Jacob revealed has sparked intense discussions and given long-standing disputes about the Rothschilds' fresh life. His remarks have raised more profound concerns about privilege, wealth, and control, as rumors of influence and intrigue have surfaced again. What is hidden from view, and what facts underlie his admissions? We explore a legacy that continues to enthrall and challenge the global idea of power as we examine his revelations. The shocking interview.
They spent, I think, the first part of the 19th century making lots of money. I think they spent a lot of the second half.
Jacob Rothschild addressed some of the most important issues of his family's heritage in an open conversation that has echoed through the halls of power. He started out by discussing how their enormous riches came to be, tracing it back to the 18th century and their calculated investments made during the turbulent Napoleonic Wars in Europe. He described how his family built a financial empire that crossed countries by taking advantage of both opportunity and chaos with a measured honesty. Jacob, however, did not merely recite historical events. He went into more contentious area when he acknowledged that the family's unmatched financial savvy frequently put them at the heart of global affairs, sometimes in ways that were, as he politely stated, morally ambiguous. He proposed that the pragmatic quest of power and legacy, rather than generosity, was the driving force behind these moments of influence. His revelations have sparked intense discussions regarding the Rothschilds' historical influence and the morality of having such a large amount of power. Is it something far more complicated, or are they skilled financiers negotiating the tides of history? Jacob left us with a story that is as complex and disturbing as the family's history itself, one that still challenges our conceptions of morality and power.
The swarm of people, the accents of an unpleasant tongue, all made a disagreeable impression, even when one only looked in when passing outside the gate.
Jacob talked on the 1917 Balfour Declaration, one of the most contentious periods in his family's history. In this landmark letter to the Zionist Federation, Britain affirmed its support for the creation of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. Despite being a turning point for the Zionist movement, the declaration's significance is still quite contentious.
For thousands of years. And it's a miracle that it took place.
And of course, the Rothschild family then as now filled two roles, because it wasn't just a leader of diaspora Jewry.
Jacob made cautiously conciliatory remarks about the situation, but the ramifications of his remarks were combustible. The Balfour Declaration has long been criticized for causing decades of conflict in the Middle East, with repercussions that are still felt in one of the most unstable parts of the world. Jacob defended his family's involvement, saying it was a humanitarian endeavor, motivated by a desire to give Jews a safe haven in the face of growing anti-Semitism. His defense, though, was viewed with suspicion. Many see the proclamation as a deliberate action entwined with political and economic goals rather than as a genuinely humanitarian effort. By bringing up this crucial point again, Jacob rekindled discussions about his family's influence on history, a legacy that is both contentious and significant. The scandalous allegations. Jacob Rothschild addressed more modern issues such as the notorious MDB affair in the interview in addition to historical ones. One of the biggest financial scams of the modern era was connected to Rothschild Bank AG, a company bearing the family name. The bank was accused of helping money laundering schemes linked to Malaysia's sovereign wealth fund, which allowed billions of dollars to disappear into a web of dishonesty and corruption. His justification, nevertheless, did little to allay the doubts of those who contend that the oversight was anything but coincidental. They imply that it was a deliberate choice to safeguard influential interests and maintain the power dynamics in the background.
Mr. Rothschild, how you doing, sir? Can you tell us what went on at the Bilderberg meeting this year?
Sorry?
Could you tell us what went on at the Bilderberg meeting this year?
I didn't get that, actually, no.
The Bilderberg? You weren't there?
No.
Not this year. What went on last year?
No, I wasn't there last year. I think that was my cousin.
The controversy has tarnished the Rothschild family's reputation and brought up difficult issues regarding the relationship between morality, wealth, and power. Those who view it as another instance of unbridled privilege permitting systemic misconduct are not very pleased with Jacob's efforts to portray it as a single occurrence. Even centuries-old civilizations are subject to contemporary examination, as the debate serves as a reminder. Then the actual bombshell was dropped. Jacob Rothschild made an apparently casual comment regarding his family's long-standing influence on global monetary policy during the conversation. Although the comment was brief, conspiracy theorists seized upon it like sharks smelling blood because of its significant implications.
I wanted to ask you a few questions, if I may, for the camera.
No.
None at all?
No.
I just wondered what you thought about the current austerity plan that we're going through in this country.
I don't think that might be.
You don't think so?
Many hypotheses have been stoked for years by rumors about the Rothschild family's influence over world finance, portraying them as master manipulators who work behind the scenes to influence governments and economies. Jacob's remark appeared to come perilously close to validating those assumptions. Was it a careless remark or a deliberate acknowledgement of the lasting influence of his family's heritage? Jacob did not elaborate. Thus the comment remained in the air, a teasing mystery. It was a flame that rekindled long-held ideas about the Rothschilds' secret impact on the global scene for both critics and theorists. Critics perceived it as a covert affirmation of a darker reality, while supporters maintained it was merely an acknowledgement of historical truths, internal feuds and family secrets. Despite its wealth and power, the Rothschild empire has had internal conflicts. Feuds within the family under Jacob Rothschild's leadership threatened to shatter the foundation of their legendary dynasty. The conflict between Alexandra de Rothschild and the Swiss branch of the family was one of the most well-known. Deep fractures inside what many saw as an unshakable empire were revealed by the rivalry, which was characterized by legal battles over the family name and economic operations. Control, strategy, and the future course of their extensive operations were the main points of contention, and both sides accused the other of deviating from the family's fundamental values. Being the quintessential diplomat, Jacob downplayed these disputes in public, characterizing them as small arguments that are common in large families. However, a much more tumultuous picture of power struggles, distrust, and a rift that went deeper than anyone outside the family could have predicted was depicted by leaked records. The carefully constructed image of power and unity that had long characterized the Rothschild name was damaged by these discoveries. Even while the dynasty is still in place, the feuds are a clear reminder that even the strongest traditions can have flaws. A family as complicated and broken as any other is hidden behind the well-maintained exterior. Not to mention the recurring rumors of clandestine family meetings purportedly held to debate international agendas and shape world events. The Rothschild family is portrayed in these long-running myths as mysterious individuals who make choices behind closed doors. The public is left wondering if there is truth behind the secrecy as a result of Jacob Rothschild's failure to properly address these allegations. Instead of denying the rumors, his silence has unintentionally given them more credence and heightened interest in the family's influence on world power structures. The questions remain intriguing and thought-provoking. The persistent shadow of conspiracy. New speculations appeared to be fostered by every comment Jacob Rothschild made in an effort to debunk the long-standing falsehoods about his family. From allegations of controlling central banks to planning significant geopolitical events, the Rothschild name has long been linked to some of the most complex conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theorists continue to view the family as the quintessential representation of sinister worldwide power and manipulation. Conspiracy theorists were able to create even more complex narratives because of his cautious reactions and inability to openly address some issues, which left a lot up for interpretation. There were more inquiries the more Jacob denied. His remarks created just enough ambiguity to preserve the Rothschilds' mystery rather than dispelling the myths. This just served to confirm for many that something more significant, something more mysterious, something that could never be totally explained away, was at work. The legacy of Jacob Rothschild. Even though Jacob Rothschild died in 2024, his impact and the scandals that surrounded him are still felt in the halls of power. Jacob, a man of great influence and strategic accuracy, managed to maintain the Rothschild family's dominance and guide its financial empire through decades of upheaval by striking a careful balance between self-interest and public service. His life was characterized by both awe and mistrust. Some saw him as a brilliant strategist, while others wondered about the morality of his behavior. Although his passing marks the end of an era, the Rothschild family's history is obviously far from ended. There is still a lot of scrutiny surrounding the corporate and worldwide influence empire he helped sustain. The questions that swirled around Jacob during his lifetime, about his role in shaping world events, his family's power and their legacy, remain unresolved. As the world reflects on his passing, the intrigue surrounding the Rothschild name endures. What secrets will surface in the years to come? How will the family continue to navigate the modern world? Jacob's death has closed a chapter, but it has also opened the door to new questions and potential revelations, ensuring the Rothschild story remains in the spotlight. What do you think then? Did Jacob Rothschild's disclosures represent a sincere effort to correct the record, or were they shrewd attempts to manipulate the story? Jacob was a master of diplomacy throughout his life, and his latest revelations made us wonder if he was actually opening up or just handling his family's reputation. There might have been more going on beneath the surface than what was stated directly, based on the timing, the well-considered answers, and the veiled realities he alluded to. Regardless of your opinion, there is no denying that the Rothschilds continue to be one of the most intriguing and divisive families in history. Their perceived and actual influence has had a lasting impact on world politics, culture, and economy. Their name is a byword for intrigue, power, and secrecy, and many people continue to argue about how much influence they have on global affairs. What about their story? The writing is still ongoing. The Rothschild legacy is unlikely to go into obscurity anytime soon, given Jacob's death and the ongoing rumors of his family's role in influencing history. Regardless of whether you see them as scapegoats or masterminds, their historical significance cannot be denied, and their narrative will probably continue to captivate and divide future generations. What do you have to say about the highly secretive life of wealthy families? Don't forget to share your thoughts down below, and if you are looking for more insight about untold stories like these, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, everyone.